For the work that you guys have done. Um, Again, I have to say another good presentation. All right, so I just want to draw to the attention of the class that those two chapters are predominantly involved in the midterm exercise, and I just want to share the. So I've updated the e-classroom to reflect this change for the midterm exercise because it is you're available to download it now and start working on it. Just go through the directions and you should be able to um, respond to the questions and set up the document to submit. Remember, you have that assignment is due by the 5th of November, but it's as it has here, it's open from today or tomorrow, I should say. All right, so let's look at the questions. So this was just done. List the 5 stages of group development and briefly describe your experience with each stage. So basically, I mean, you're just listing, just forming, norming, storming, etc. You just list them, and you have to describe your experience with them as you have. Well, again, you're reflecting on your experience with these with groups that you have been engaged in, and you'll have a lot of group activity generally in the class in COSTAT, so you should have a plethora of experiences that you could draw upon to do this reflection. All right, outline what you have done in the past to deal with group issues and conflict and compare them to the recommendations that were just presented to us from the text. Um, um, just to begin with, I mean, one of the things that we always look at group conflict as a problem, but if we look at group conflict as an opportunity for clarification, for improving our communication with each other, those are things that I'm hoping you all would understand that in the past, group conflict may have been seen as, one of one of the massively negative area of group work, but understand that that group conflict is a regular, it happens all the time. All right. Now, the second question here, you notice that's just 15 marks there, right? In the text, they propose the 8 assumptions about ethical leadership that are central themes in the study of and practice of ethical leadership. Explain what is ethical leadership. That was just presented to us. So you're just regurgitating a definition. But what I want you to do is to look at any 3 of these assumptions and give your thoughts as to their relevance to your concept of leadership in today's world, and support your response with current examples of leadership behavior around us. So, again, reflecting upon the theory that we just looked at in terms of the theory of ethical leadership, and what are we seeing around us and how do you feel about it? So, again, it's a reflection area. The third question is the bulky question. It's 40 marks for this question. You have to think of an ethical dilemma that you have faced or were involved with and work through the ethical dilemma using the ethical decision making models identified by Kidder in the chapter and exploring, well, basically in terms of it. So, I've provided this guideline rubric here for you to understand what you need to do. First off, you probably need to tell us what is an ethical dilemma. Now, remember, that was defined for us. Those are situations in which we are facing um, multiple choices with both with either negative or both with positive outcomes. Or these are situations in which you don't have a clearly right and wrong response to it. Okay? List and describe the 4 ethical dilemma types or paradigms. That was the things that she just went through in terms of short term versus long term. Um, what was it again? The team that just did this. What were those 4 dilemma paradigms? Short term versus long term, individual versus community. Um, Folks from that chapter. Tell me you forget this already. Interesting. Anyway, I hope you all are remembering this. You all are hearing me, right?
So I'm hearing you, but I had to step away a little while ago
Uh huh.
and I didn't hear. So I'm so sorry. I cannot answer what you're asking.
Don't you would you just presented the this chapter,
No, this is Camille.
right? Right. So not Camille. I'm trying to get onto the person who presented this chapter to get involved with the discussion. Who that?
So that was the first group.
Yeah, I know. Somebody from the first group. They're not here. They left already. They don't want their scores. What is wrong with people? Anyway, the all right. Let me just maximize this. So those are the four dilemma paradigms in which we find ourselves involved with. The three ethical decision-making models. I think they did this ends-based thinking, rules-based thinking, and care-based thinking. You all vaguely remember those things? All right. If you don't remember, it means you need to go through the chapter before you tackle this. Analyze. All right. So you're basically identifying these things and just giving general explanations for them. That's what sections 2 and 3 are doing. Question 4 or part 4 is identify and adequately describe your personal dilemma. Now, it has to be a dilemma that you've actually been involved with. So, again, you're reflecting on your past history, um, and you are going to be looking at um, some form of a dilemma that you faced. You are going to review how things played out at that time. All right. And in part 5, what you're going to do is analyze it in the context of the paradigms and the ethical decision making model. So what you might find is that your dilemma might be both falling into more than one paradigm. It might be short term, long term, and individual versus community, as opposed to the others. And you might also find that in terms of eventually finding a solution or how things um, got resolved, it might have been a combination of more than one type of decision making model. It might have been ends based thinking, or it might have been care based thinking, or rules based thinking. It could be a combination, or it could be just simply one of the two. So again, you're analyzing what took place in the past in the light of the theory. So you're looking at something that you've done in the real world and you're applying theory to analyze it. And then you're going to make a value judgment now of would you modify your decision given what you know now in terms of ethical um, decision making models. All right, and why would you do that? And then I've put aside some marks for referencing if necessary. So not that I expect that you would have to do references, but you might have to do some referencing across the board. And I'm putting aside some marks for use of language and the organization of the overall paper with 10 marks. That means you have to do a title page, page numbers, possibly depending upon how long the paper is, you might also need to put in a contents page. So it's not just you just slap up everything and just throw it and give it to me. And remember also, when you are creating these files, please use this naming protocol for the file. So it'll be your name followed by the title of the assignment, mid-semester assignment or mid-semester reflections. You could use that instead. And put your CRN. The CRN for this class is 10525, I think it is. Yes? 10525, yeah. So, any questions about the assignments here that are now live? I would suggest that you engage in getting, in terms of reading the chapter. I would suggest that that's something that you'll do. Cool. All right. No
Yes, sir.
question. No questions. Everybody
No
perfectly
questions, sir.
understands everything.
No questions yet, sir, but
Oh,
if any
yeah,
in between could
we
be
have
asked.
Of course you can. Yes,
Thank you.
not a problem.